And a very good afternoon to you all. Good morning to wherever you are watching from across statewide, and actually wherever you're watching in the world. It's an absolute pleasure to have your company. This is Wake Up Call. I am Craig Laird and I'm with you Monday to Friday from 12 p.m. here in the UK, or 7 a.m. Eastern Time, 4 a.m. Pacific Time. Now, it is March, but it's the very last day of March, which means it's the very last day for National Craft Month. So we are hoping throughout the full of this month that you have been enjoying the shows, enjoying the demonstrations that we've been giving you throughout all the Crafters TV shows. That's not going to end though today. What we're going to do is we are still throughout the whole of today, and specifically within this show here, we're going to give you some sneak peeks as to what you can expect throughout the day on Crafters TV. We are going to be highlighting launch day and also Creative Cravens. But did you know, maybe you didn't, we are today launching our 13th brand new product of the month. I know, in and out, you know, maybe unlucky for some, but it's 13. It's lucky for us, 13th product. I'm not alone though. We have got the man himself. He is back. Midweek. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, it's Joe.
It's a Wednesday. Happy hump day, one and all. What an amazing day we have got coming up. I will be here doing all the salacious gossip for you throughout the craft vault, which is going to be awesome. But I've got big news. If you're not sat down at your craft desk, you may want to hang on to something, because just today, to celebrate that final day of National Craft Month, we're going to give you triple points on everything. Everything you see in every show here on Crafters TV and across the entire website. Triple points. What a way. We are going out with a bang when it comes to National Craft Month. Of course, you'll have all the Craft Vault deals as well. We're going to be peppering them through the entirety of Wake Up Call for you, and you'll have up to 30% off. There's some awesome deals in there. You're going to want to make sure you hang around for those. Don't forget, make sure you get social with us, because it is our very final National Craft Month daily giveaway, and one of you lucky lot is going to be winning this absolute haul of amazing products. We've got stamps, we have got paper pads. Are we putting the textured cardstock pad in there? Shut the front door. That's brilliant. It's all you need to do in order to win that as well. It's just comment, just say hello to me. Let me know how your day is going. Anywhere, you can either do that over on Facebook, or you can of course do it on YouTube. And one of you lucky lot will be winning our monthly giveaway, which is an incredible Gemini Pro. You are not going to want to miss out on that. Not just about great craft vaults though, and of course amazing giveaways. There's loads of other stuff coming up. Isn't that right, Craig?
There absolutely is, Joe, for sure. Starting off with this one that we are going to be launching in launch day, as you say, and this is our floral frame stamp and die collection. These are exquisite. You may have seen the little bits of the sneak peeks that I was giving you on my Instagram last night. We are, in total, we're giving you 28 elements here. This is our floral frames stamp and die collection, $64.95 here in the UK, or $74.75 for you guys stateside. It works out, are you ready for this? Works out that you're buying 5 and you're going to get 1 free. Buying 5, you're getting 1 free. It's including I'm So Happy For You, for a special friend. You mean so much to me. It also gives you, with love from me to you, heartfelt thanks, and may all your dreams come true. So we're going to show you them just shortly as to how they work. So that's coming up in launch day, 3 p.m. here in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. But then what we're away to do is we're away to have a look at the pop-out stamp and die sets. So within these ones here, these are what's coming up in Creative Cravens. So these ones are so much fun. So that is then going to be your 5 elements in total here. We're going to show you them just shortly as to what they create. $51.96 here in the UK, $59.80 for you guys stateside, and these are really fun makes, not only to make but also to give to whoever it is that is lucky enough to receive one of them ones. So that's what's coming up in Creative Cravens, 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, or 11 a.m. Pacific Time. But that's not it when it comes to Creative Cravens. Something else that we are keeping in mind, this is a preview of what we'll be showing in Wake Up Call, but this is what's coming up in Creative Cravens. And this is, look at these ones. So this one here, what we're going to do is we're away to show you later on how these are made and hand created. This is our Crafter's Companion Vintage Handbags card making kit. 764 elements, £24.99 here in the UK, £29.95 for you guys stateside. If you've seen Try It Tuesday, yesterday, you'll have seen myself and Joe having a look at this collection, and also both of us were creating one of the handbags. If you didn't see that, of course, afterwards, you can always watch back. However, we will be showing you not only in Wake Up Call, but Creative Cravens as well. So, nice selection of different Crafter's Companion products that we're going to be showing you when it comes to our show. But what we're going to do is, Joe picked up just shortly, we're going to head across to him because he's also got some fab Craftful items as well.
Oh, I have indeed, Craig. And the great thing about Craftful is what it means is it's where you find the biggest, juiciest, tastiest discounts, usually of the day here on Crafters TV. 30% off of this one, and what we're actually looking at is a fantastic collection of Nature's Garden peacock products. I love that not only are you getting the embossing folder, you're going to get the die and the sentiment stamps, but we're also popping into here hello, some beautiful golden gilding wax in there for you, and you're going to get 10 sheets of the blue, royal blue Centura Pearl also. So a really lovely little collection there for you. £32 or $44. Platinum members can pick this up for $25.60 or $35.20, which is absolutely awesome. So don't miss out on that. If you want to place an order at any point, it's really easy to do so. Pop yourself over to the website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au, and remember, there not only can you click the shop the show button, you can also watch and shop at the same time there as well. This was, and still is, isn't it? Right, I'm right in saying, Craig, your favourite Nature's Garden collection ever?
Especially, specifically when it comes to the colours that ran throughout the specific collection, it is awesome. Let's have a look at some of the finished samples that you can be making that you can see right here. So this is where we have got the embossing folder. So if you have just a look at that one, what we'll also do is show you a few other things that you can be making. So that is with the embossing folder on the back. This is also with the embossing folder on the back. Then we've also got this one now, if I have a look, this is part of the sentiments that you get down on the bottom here. Another one with the sentiment. However, this black frame that we can see here, that's what we're going to be using. What we're also got here is we have got our sentiments here as well. Then what we've got is we have got this one here. So what we are going to do is, again, this is your frame. So within this one here, you can create your dimensions. It's kind of like a theatre card here, all these different styles that you can do. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you what you can be doing. So I'm going to bring in a piece of mirror card for a moment. Joe, can we come back to you just briefly because I am having an issue with my mic. So if we can just quickly come back to you.
Always, I'm here. I've got you, Craig. Don't you worry. In fact, whilst you're here, why don't I just quickly show you in a little more detail those three elements that you've got there in that collection. Because what you're actually receiving is you're going to get the awesome stamps in here. This is what those little chaps look like. You've got that awesome embossing folder in there too, and you're going to receive as well that die set in there, as well as the gilding wax, and also then the Centura Pearl 2. Shall we have a little look at who's checking in today? Loads of you there. A lot of you are asking about the lovely Debbie. I know she was poorly yesterday. She's doing much better today. She was actually just milling around backstage a few minutes ago, so she is on the mend. Don't you worry about it. And who knows, hopefully she'll be back with us here tomorrow on Crafters TV. That would be absolutely lovely. How are you getting on over there, Craig? You all fixed up?
All sorted. All good to go. So let's run a few of these through to show you what these look like. So what I'm going to start with first is I'm going to have a look at the flourishing frame here. Now this is actually two dies that you get. So you've got your main detail that you can see here. Now this cuts into your cardstock. If you were to include the outline die, this is then going to eliminate it from out of your card. To be honest with you, Joe, I never use the outside die. I always just cut my cardstock to the size that I want and then die cut the detail. So I've taken a piece of our satin gold cardstock here and I've just cut this. Now no specific size wise for a reason, 5 inches by 8 inches. And then what we can do is we can then pop our die over the top with our cardstock. and then I'm going to run this one through. So same plate configuration when it comes to things like your die cutting, your wafer thin die cutting. But not only now is this going to frame maybe your sentiments or any of your toppers from your cards or projects, what it'll also do is it'll also create that nice feature for maybe a frame or something. Really nice one to be using within your 8x8 or your 10x10 memory books. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just my brush, and then we're going to take all these bits out. Also a good sizable one, Joe, for paper piecing, because the bits aren't too small, so therefore they're not going to be too fiddly to actually paper piece back in. So I'm going to pop just a few other bits out here.
So much gorgeous, delicate detail in that, isn't there?
There is. Now, if you have a look at this one here, and then what we'll do, the best way to always show it off is to put a bit of black behind. Look how incredible.
Wowzers.
Very symmetrical, so whether it's left to right or top to bottom, you can see how you've also got them across. So you can see you've got them ones there. So that is with the die. And then what we can then do, if I move that out the way, now you do still have this piece as well. So keep a hold of it, because you could be then using this, if you were to use it onto like a MAC card or that, you could stamp any of your designs or pop your toppers in there. So don't ever waste them. So then what I'm going to do is, if we go into our embossing folder, I'm going to then bring in this one. So this is our plumage panel. And with this one here, we've got the 6x6 folder. And what it is, it's a 2D embossing folder. What that means is you're still going to get incredible depth. It's just not as deep as maybe our 3D embossing folder. But you'll see what I mean when I run this one through. So it's a 2D embossing folder, so therefore it is our 2 cutting plates, but as we all know by now, I do like to add my metal shim in as well. That's just going to enhance, might even enhance it, might do that as well. I'll definitely enhance it, that's for sure. That's going to come through.
There's someone I watch on TV who always says, "Hey, Hanny," and that's what I thought you sounded like there just then.
Where's that from?
Hey, Hanny. I'm not sure, I can't remember, but it's always in my head.
You must really love that programme then. Once again, this is on gold satin cardstock. How phenomenal is that? Now, on purposely, I'm bending it to get that light to bounce off at the same time.
Beautiful.
Isn't it? Phenomenal. That is so, so smart. What you could then do, say for instance as well, you take your inexpensive brown wrapping paper for your gifts, wrap that around, and then maybe just cut a specific shape out of that and pop that on.
Gorgeous.
Nice way to actually decorate.
Or a tag, Craig.
Or, of course, or a tag. But that is your embossing folder, that is your die, glued in, your part that also comes out. But let's not forget, you're still also getting your sentiment stamps, and you're still getting that cardstock as well. A really, really good bundle. Oh, and gilding wax.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe you get the gilding wax in there.
I didn't realise that either, Joe.
The lovely Jan Robbins in Ravello, I bet the weather's gorgeous in Italy today, says, "Love this peacock collection, made some lovely cards with it." Hadassah says, "My favourite collection ever is this peacock collection. It's so versatile, can be used for men and women's cards for any occasion, and it's very serene." Jan also then goes on to say as well, "I've never used the frame, just thinking if I could possibly make a twirling card with the main little peacock die inside." That sounds like a lovely idea, Craig.
Sounds like a great idea, and absolutely that would definitely be a possibility. Maybe actually bring some of the twirling characters, or maybe even your penny slider characters in and do a little bit of a twirling as well, so you can do that.
Absolutely, I think that's a great thing, isn't it? So many of our amazing collections mix and match so well together. Remember what you are getting in there. You're getting 10 sheets of incredible Centura Pearl, and you're getting that incredible gold gilding wax in there as well, which is amazing. It's your Renaissance gold, which is beautiful, but then also stamps, embossing folder, and that creator card die as well. So it is incredible value for that. £32 or $44. Platinum members, you're going to save even more. But the savings are whacking great one before you even put your Club Inspired discount on there, and hello, triple points on everything. Let's not forget about that also. Now, something we launch here on Crafters TV every single Monday is our Get It, Got It, Good. Now, this week's Get It, Got It Good is an awesome one. It is from the House of Totally Tiffany. In here, you've got Brandy, Gail, Dawn, and Stephanie in there, which is awesome. And the buddy bags are now iconic because it means you can see what you're storing. They all store on their end in your lowest tote if you have one of those. And the brilliant thing is, when you get it in this configuration, we're actually giving you one on totally free of charge. I know, it's why it's this week's Get It, Got It Good. $19.97 or $25.97 if you're in the US. It's great for a whole host of things, from gem drops to ink pads to rulers to brushes to ball tools. You're going to want to, in fact, you know what? I know what you're going to want to do. You'll order one, you'll wish you ordered a second one. I know a lot of you have been multi-ordering on that. Do grab a lowest tote and check out all the other incredible Totally Tiffany deals that we have available for you over on our website. There's a whole Totally Tiffany section there for you, which is absolutely awesome. So, don't forget about your Get It, Got It Good. And remember, a new one launches every single Monday here on Crafters TV. Now, one of my favourite shows on the schedule here at Crafters TV is Launch Day. And we're all in luck because not only is it a launch day, but it's a triple point launch day. I can't remember the last time I actually said that, Craig. Can you?
I know, can't believe that as well. It's so, do you know something? It's one of those, obviously, as you picked upon, Debbie is absolutely fine. So it's one of those, you know, it's a shame that she's not here doing it, but then I get to pick it up for her, you know, so it's a nice way for me to then come along and do the show instead. I know we'd all like to see Debbie, but at least she's absolutely fine. So that's the main thing.
She's indeed.
I do get to do the show. So here we go. Let's have a look at these. As I picked upon just at the start of the show, what we've done is we had a look on a bit of a sneak peek on my Instagram last night. So you'll have a see as to what I'm away to create in a moment. Absolutely love these ones. So we're going to focus on in a moment the I'm so happy for you.
I'm so happy for you that you get to do this launch, Craig.
I know, it's good, isn't it? It is good. Looking forward to it. So let's go for it and let's show you what you can be creating anyway. So what we've got within these ones here is we've got a real good sizable stamped image here. So within this one here, you've got your main sizable die, stamp, sorry, and you've got two sentiments as well. So these are separate. What we've also got is in here, we've also got a die. So this die here comes into the middle. So what we're going to do is we'll show you that just shortly. But what I've already done is cut my Nina cardstock to 5x7, and what I want to do is I want to centralize this into the middle of my card, simply because I am actually using this full layer of cardstock here, so I want it to be centralized. So I'm just making sure, counting my squares, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, that's fine, 1 2 1 2, so there we go. So what I can do is I can put my magnetic discs in now. So what I can do is I can go back into my stamp and I'm going to peel it off, and if I go in here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to position it into the middle, and I'm doing it face down on purpose because then what I'm going to do is, once I'm happy with where I want it to go, I'm going to bring in my stamping platform and press. Now you can do this with the 6x6. It's too big for the 4x4, but definitely the 6x6. But I do like to use my large grid just so that we know exactly where we want it to go. So then what I'm going to do, again, I'm just making sure it's centralized again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using, for the sake of time and speed on Wake Up Call, I'm going to use my tri-blends. But on launch day, we do have a selection of different colour mediums. So they are the sorts of different ones we'll be using when it comes to our launch day.
I know you said you're doing it for the sake of time, Craig. Would there be something else you choose to use if you were doing this in your own time at home?
Any colour medium.
Okay.
Any colour medium. So for instance, on the show later, we've got our aqua pencils, we've got our aqua tri-blends on the show as well. We've got a nice selection of different colour mediums. So whether it's you want to do a little bit of kind of like wet work when it comes to your colouring, it's entirely up to yourself. But we are going to do some alcohol colouring for these ones. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that, and if I'm quite happy with that. It's kind of missed tiny bit at the top there. Now the good thing with our large stamping platform, we can go back in, we can stamp up over the top, and then what we can do is we can go back, layer it over the top, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press, and we're going to press and get any of these last little bits. Now we can see we've got a real bold impression here. Really nice, isn't it? Now what I would always suggest is to cut out the centre first and then colour. If you get that positioned in the right place, it's going to be absolutely fine. However, what you don't want to do is you don't want to colour all of that in, go to cut that, and it accidentally maybe slips and moves. And you've not ruined it, but you've just spent all that time colouring it and you've not got that perfect middle. So if we cut it first, it means if I was to have my die slip and it doesn't cut where I want it to, it means that I've not wasted a lot of time. I can then come back, re-stamp it, and then die cut it. So we're going to go in here. Now at this point it's like any of our dies, so I'm going to pop it onto my plate. And we're going to bring in our plastic, magnetic, and then our top plate here. So as that one goes through, we can then layer that one up. Now you don't have to die cut the centre if you don't want to. What you could do is that piece or that die that I just used, you could die cut that in a separate piece of cardstock and layer it on top within the centre for your sentiment. Create a shaker element if you want. You've got all these different options. So now, if I bring this one in, you'll be able to see we've got our lovely aperture within the middle. So this is where the frame aspect comes in. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap card here, and I'm going to go in with my tri-blends. Now the ones that I've used in my finished sample, I'll show you in a minute, is our dark red blend, our dull green blend, and then I've used some ice grey. So what we're going to do is we can then go in, and I'm going to pick out these. Now, also to point out, when it comes to the packaging, you do get some ideas and inspiration, but you can go any colour you want. So for instance, this one here, they've given you ideas with purples and lilacs, but I'm going to go in with reds and greens for this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the light tone. So I'm going to colour in maybe about 2/3 of the way up. I'm going to do a couple of petals all at once. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then come in into the dark part. So flipping the pen over so we can go over the top. So I'm coming in at the base of the petal. This is where the shading parts or the blending parts are coming in. I'm then going to go over with the mid-tone now, and I'm blending them out. So I'm blending these ones out here. Then what we can do is we can come back, we can finish that off, and then what we're going to do is just colour that last remaining bit. Now with this being an alcohol pen, what will happen is it'll take a moment or two for the alcohol to evaporate, but then what it does is it leaves you with this really nice blended consistency where you've got depth within the centre of the petal or the flower, and it gets lighter as the colour travels up.
There's lots of love for these, Craig, in the comments. Eve B says the frames will make it so much easier to decorate flowers. Laquiet says these frames are unique and beautiful. Nefertiti says, wow, that zoom on the camera showing all the detail in the stamp and die image is awesome. Marianne says, well, these floral stamp and die sets are so versatile, truly amazing. And the lovely Mary loves her tri-blends as well. But as Craig was saying, you could use any of your colouring mediums. Is it fair to say, Craig, that some stamps are easier to colour than others?
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely they are. It depends on the design or the image and the actual size of all the coloured in elements. You know, you could get a real intricate stamp that's got lots of maybe hair or movement within the skirt or within the trousers, anything like that, whereas a lot of these you've got that full movement with larger petal areas to colour. So yeah, I would completely agree. There's also some, Joe, that you'll look at an image and you think, oh gosh, I'd just love to colour that in. You know, like big bright, or not bright, but big bolder block colours. You think that would be really smart to colour in.
Michelle calls these pens her travelling pens because they're light and ready to roll.
That's
I love
good.
that.
I like that. That's really good, isn't it?
Really fun.
Really good.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll finish just this one here, and then I will do one leaf. So basically what we'll do is we'll do this corner. This will show you how I managed to do the full image last night. So what I can then do is I'm then going to go over now into my dull green blend. So let's do this one here. So I'm going to colour in most of the leaves.
It's very regal, this frame, isn't it?
It's very.
I feel like I should be having an afternoon tea on the lawn at a country manor. That's how it makes me feel, Craig. We won't get into jam or cream first because it's a very divisive question.
That is.
But it looks lovely. And it'll also be fitting with the lovely weather we're having. I think there's a reason we are channeling the sun today with our outfits, Craig, because spring has sprung, hasn't it? This is summer in the northeast. Couple of days and that'll be it now, Craig. That will rain until June, I'd imagine.
Yes, so nice just now, really is. Hopefully it's going to be continue. Hopefully it'll continue over the weekend. Although I do have lots of work to do at home.
Do you want some great news? Well, lots of great news. It was 22 degrees yesterday. It's going to be about 19 degrees today. On Monday, there's an 80% chance of snow here in the northeast.
Really?
It's going to be 7 degrees.
That's it. That's
it's a British
UK
spring
for you, isn't
yeah.
it? UK for you.
Bonkers.
Now what I'll do is when I come to do stamping and colouring, Joe, you'll see it's kind of like one of my things that I also do. I always go around the image in grey. So once again, I'll just do this bit and then we'll bring in the finished one to show you. So what I'm doing is basically the whole image, and I'm saying the whole image because my finished sample, I've only coloured in specific areas. And I'm using ice grey too for this one.
I love this, Craig.
So it will get a little bit lighter. So you would then go all the way round. So you would then carry all the way round. So what you're wanting to do is every stamped area, so every area, draw around it within ice grey too. Now what you're going to be left with is, this is what we would do. I would continue a few other bits. Then if I bring this one in, now look at the extra depth you get by only colouring in 2 areas. I've done a couple of the buds here. The rest I've left black and white, but every black line I've gone around with my ice grey too.
That's fabulous, Craig.
And I've kind of contradicted what I said at the start, and that's kind of do your die cutting first. But because I wanted to show you it finished and then how it looks once it's cut, even though we're away to cut this, still go in with your grey because you will see little bits of grey just popping through. So I'm lining it up and I'm lining the outline of the die with the outline of the black stamped image. And there is a right and wrong way of doing it. It may look symmetrical, but it's not 100% symmetrical. So I'm going to stamp this one in. And then I've got all my layers ready to go just to assemble it. So we can then run this one through. And then I'm going to bring in a couple of layers. Now I've been really naughty here. I'm giving you a sneak peek as to new cardstock that we've got coming in a launch day show next week.
I don't even know about this one.
Here you go. So there, we've got that one there. Coming up on a launch day next week.
You've gone fully rogue here, Craig.
I've gone fully rogue. I absolutely have. Thought, let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm not saying anything other than launch day, but look at that, gorgeous. So now we've got our design here. So what we can also do is I've already stamped one of the sentiments, celebrate your day. Then what I've done, I don't know, did you know this, Joe? Today is the Eiffel Tower's 132nd birthday.
Is it really?
It is.
Happy 132nd birthday. Does anyone know how to say happy birthday in French?
Nope.
Un petit happy birthday pourquoi? I don't know, something like that.
I can say je m'appelle Craig.
Je m'appelle Craig. I'd say croissant, pain au chocolat. That's about the length of my French.
Is that all? Yeah,
Delicious.
I'm not good with French.
Have you been to Paris, Craig?
No.
I went once. It was gorgeous. Everyone is so fashionable, Craig. It's quite intimidating.
Yeah.
You get off the train at the Gare du Nord and you think, how did everyone get this fabulous? That's honestly what it's like.
It's funny because you know obviously how much I go on about New York, and you get people that say, oh, I've never had really any inkling to go to New York.
Yeah.
I'm like that with France. It's one of those places that if I was lucky enough to go, I would absolutely go, but I would never specifically go out my way to book a trip there. So
the thing about France is, this sounds really strange, Craig. The thing about France is, it's very, very French.
Is it?
It's so French.
Okay.
Like, you wouldn't believe how French it is.
In what way?
Well, there's just... I'm not going to say it's not cosmopolitan, because it is. It's a very multicultural society. But they have... The French have such a strong sense of identity in absolutely everything that it's literally like being in a film, in a French film. That's what it's like. I don't think I've explained that very well, but I hope you get my gist.
Yeah. No, I think I know what you mean. I think I know
just
what you mean. Just
thought it'd be a little less French, I guess, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I'll keep that in mind if I ever do go.
Loads of love on these. Rebecca says, if you're using aqua markers, what colour would you use to go around the edge, Craig, like you did with the grey?
Any of a grey tone. So off the top of my head, in the past I used slate.
Awesome.
I can't remember if it's from primary or brights or that sort of thing. But slate, that's a good one that you could use from your aqua markers.
It is bon anniversaire. Bon anniversaire is how you say happy birthday in French. There you go.
Now, the reason I said that is because what I've done is I've taken an Eiffel Tower. Now, some of you may be lucky enough to remember this from a past Sarah's signature collection.
I do remember it indeed.
Called Parisian. So I have die cut that out, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck that one in, and then I'm going to bring it, let's quickly, just about there, let's bring in our dotty tape runner. And I'm going to put a little bit up to the middle and the top. That's going to stick into here. Then what we can do is finish off with our foam pad and our sentiment. And all I've done is cut a strip with our Nina cardstock and stamped our sentiment. And that, I'm going to pop that right across the middle. There. And then there we go. There's one of our floral stamp and die sets. This is from our I'm So Happy For You, and as I say, it's just one idea as to what I'm going to be showing you. Well, I'm not going to show you this one again, but I've got lots of other demos that are going to be showing you in launch day later on today, 3 p.m. here in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern Time or 7 a.m. Pacific Time.
Oh, that is going to be absolutely loads of fun. Random fact for you as well about the Eiffel Tower. It was only ever meant to be a temporary structure. I know, and here we are, hundreds of years down the line. It was built for like a national fair. Yeah, and then we're going to take it down afterwards. But they said it looks so blooming beautiful. Let's leave it up. Love that. And I love that creation there as well. Don't forget, if you want to be in a chance with winning that awesome National Craft Month giveaway, don't forget it's the last one today as well, because it is, of course, the last day of National Craft Month. We'll show you all the awesome stuff that you could be winning. One of you lucky lot, and all you need to do is comment in any one of our shows, and one of you will be drawn at random in our 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern time show. There is also the monthly mega giveaway, which is, of course, a Gemini Pro and a rotating disc, which is going to be absolutely awesome. Kathy's really made me laugh in the comments. She says, I went to France on a school trip many years ago, and the only phrase we were all taught was "Je suis perdu," which means I am lost. If you ever get lost, you'll now know. Diane says, I so agree about Paris, Joe. I can never explain it until you said that. It's très French. Stephanie says, sounds like all of your French knowledge is about food. Everything I know about anything is about food, Stephanie. A lot of love for that demonstration as well. A lot of you talking about how you're going to use it. Pamela specifically saying, imagine these with a few foam flowers on them to really make them pop. Craig, that could be awesome.
That would.
A lot of you talking about your favourite stamps that you like to colour as well here in the comments too. There's a lot of you tuned in today. We've got a bumper audience, loads of you excited for a really awesome Wednesday coming up. Are you ready for another little craft vault deal? A cheeky little amazing discount we have got. And also segueing into just me always talking about food, who doesn't love cake? Well, that's what we've got for you here. What we've actually got is the sweet treat die set in here. Now, all you're buying is that die set. You're getting the stamps in here, totally free of charge, and these are going to work beautifully with the die set, but they'll also work with other collections too. And you've also got that gorgeous 6x6 Caring Thoughts paper pad included with the toppers in the back of there for you too. And what I love about this is it's all about lovely fun. Look at this gorgeous sort of Easter themed cupcake card that we've got here. You could be making this. Do you know what this would maybe work really well for as well? Like a cake topper to go into like a big cake or something like that. You can just really run with that cake theme. If you're a platinum member, $19.99 or $26.39. Remember, triple points across absolutely everything, including all of our gorgeous craft vault deals as well. But it's not just about, of course, our craft vault deals in the show. It's all about the other wonderful things that are coming up for you today as well. Karen letting me know that she ordered those floral frames yesterday. If you want to shop ahead, then you can also shop ahead. And it's not just about the wonderful deals, it's all about the wonderful shows, and it's about the wonderful Craig too.
Oh, you wee charmer, you. So you are.
Oh, you wee charmer. I love it when I love the way you say that. You wee charmer. I like that, yeah.
You wee charmer, yeah. Oh dear. I have to say, big thanks to Joe, because he brought us all in an Easter egg, didn't you?
Oh,
yesterday?
You're more than welcome.
Yes, it was so nice of you.
Spreading a little bit of sweet joy midweek here at Crafters TV. We all need a bit of chocolate in our lives, don't we? I shall be eating my own body weight in chocolate over the weekend, and all of the hot cross buns as well. Yum.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds good, absolutely. Might do that as well. I've not tucked into the one you've given me yet. I'm going to keep that until Easter.
Are you? Awesome.
Yep. Slouch in front of the TV. Watch a good... Watch a bit of WWE and Judge Judy. Not at the same time, of course.
Here's a question I'd love to pose to everyone, right? Easter eggs. Erin, I'm guessing Easter eggs are as big in the US as they are here in the UK, are they? Pretty big in the US, huge here. I mean, if growing up, you need, even actually not just growing up, as an adult, if you don't get an Easter egg from your folks or from your friends, you're annoyed, real annoyed. Easter baskets, not so much. We like an Easter bonnet as well in the UK, but your Easter egg, is it going in the fridge or is it going to be at room temperature? I feel like it's a really divisive question. I need you to let me know in the comments. Where's yours going, Craig?
Chocolate. I tend to put it into the cupboard, because as what I usually do is I will melt it and then dip marshmallows in, unless now I am going to drop the brand here, unless it's the Terry's chocolate orange, the white one that needs to go in the fridge because it needs to have that real sharp snap
crunch
when you bite into it.
It does. We do we call them Easter egg hunts or trails here, don't we, Craig? Erin says it's called an Easter basket when you're in the US. So you get your basket and you go off like some sort of forager in the woods, but with loads of chocolate at the end of it. I love it. I love that idea.
Lots of fun, lots of different things that you can be doing round about Easter as well. So fingers crossed this time next year will be fully, well, I am positive that this time next year we will be fully back to normal, certainly come Easter time, so we can, the kiddies and all that can go back to the normal Easter egg hunts and all that sort of fun things that they can do. But you might actually want to incorporate these in some ways, because what these ones do, this is a sweet treats. So you've got your selection of all your different die cuts. It's going to create your cupcakes, or what you can do is use them as your the top of ice cream. If you're feeling cheeky, why not cut it into brown and it could be one of those cheeky emojis?
Craig, I love that idea. I didn't see that coming.
There you go. Yeah, could be. There it could be. Do you know what? How long have we got?
Couple of little goggly eyes on there. You'd be well away.
She'll make time if I want to do that.
She's going to give you time for a poop, but not in that sense, Craig, is what we're saying. Evangeline is saying, Joe, I would get 2 Easter eggs, one for the freezer and one for room temperature. Maybe even get 3, one in the fridge, one in the freezer, one at room temperature. I think that is the real deal, isn't it? Nicole says, absolutely room temperature, never in the fridge. Yeah, mine's going in the fridge. Does anyone else agree that Easter egg chocolate is better than regular chocolate as well? I don't know what it is or what they do to it, but there's something amazing about it. Very divisive. My American producer Erin saying that she believes generally English chocolate better than US chocolate. I haven't had much US chocolate, but I know I love all chocolate that comes from the UK, so I'm sure I'm in agreement with Erin there as well. Karen's got a funny story for us, Craig. She says, in my adult French lessons, I learned Il Montreal une vache, which means he points out a cow. So when we went to France, I took dozens of pictures of my husband just randomly pointing at cows. Love that. Oh, what a lovely little tidbit.
That's a good little tidbit, isn't it? That's fun. The things that you can different... totally changed my train of thought there. I was waiting to see someone else and I just heard what Erin said in my ear there. That's a good idea.
Painting eggs with tri-blends.
Tri-blend pens. That's from Suzanne.
Love that idea.
That is a really good idea. You could be doing that. Right, let's go back to our poopy emoji. So we've got, now I didn't have pure brown cardstock, so we've gone for a bit of craft card.
I think whoever or wherever that came from needs to have a serious think about their diet, Craig, is all I'm going to say.
Yes, Mr. Whippy, isn't it? It could be Mr. Whippy chocolate ice cream. You know, if you want to use it for your cakes or your cones or anything like that. Oh. So here we go. Let's just add a little bit of...
Bring it back. Cindy says, always room temperature chocolate. Unless it's Reese's peanut butter cups, then they only live in the freezer. Love that suggestion.
That's a good suggestion, isn't it? You know what, let's go,
it always comes back to food, doesn't it, eventually?
It does.
In the end. Rita's saying Easter eggs are big in Louisiana. In the country, we will participate in an Easter activity called egg knocking.
Egg knocking?
Oh, there it is! A smiley little poop.
Little poop. You get maybe a bit goggly eyes or googly eyes.
It looks a bit Ghostbusters-y.
It does, doesn't it? Slimer. Do it in green, it could be Slimer.
Or the Michelin Man I'm getting from that as well.
Or the Michelin, yeah. Yeah, it could be that. Let's be a little bit sensible here. I know it's not always you hear me say that. Let's quickly also show you what you can do as well. So not only that, have a little bit of fun with your kiddie son, daughter, granddaughter, grandson, but what you can also do is that I've cut 2 of the bases. Now I have done them in different colours just so that I can show you what you could do. And I'm going to come in from the side, maybe roughly about 1 inch. Doesn't have to be exact. And then what I've done is I've created my own little hinge here. So what I can then do is if I bring in my next layer, and let's bring in our dotty tape runner, or we'll do our straight tape runner. I'm going to pop my adhesive on the side and let's press. Then what we can do, that gives us a bit of a card blank that you can see here. So let's just flatten that a bit more. So we've got our card blank. Then what you could do is you could come along and we can even do this onto foam pads just to give it extra height. Now what I would do, this is some of our textured cardstock. So to be fair, what I would do if I was doing the base one, I would always do it in maybe like our Centura Pearl or our white smooth stamping card, and then come along and coat it with a colour card. But what we can do is if I pop this one on, and you can be embossing it if you want to. What you've also got, and I'll show you as well. So if I pop that one over the top here, so now we've got our little cupcake at the side here. But what you've also got is all these additional flags. You've got a cherry, you've got a candle, you've got the start of a tag as well as a heart. But as you were showing, Joe, within the stamps, you've got these real nice sentiments that correspond with this one being icing and cake. But what you've got is you've got this stamp here. This is one stamp, but it gives you all those hundreds and thousands or sugar strands. So you can then stamp them all over. You can decorate them. Lots of different things that you can do with them. Whether you want to do maybe just one big shaker card by using that as an aperture within the middle. Lots of ways, lots of things and lots of styles you can do with using this one. It's so fun.
It really is. Loads that you're going to be able to do with this. And also great that you're only paying for one element. We're going to send you the rest of it totally free of charge. Remember what you're getting in there. You're buying the die set. We're going to include for you in there those stamps. And we're also going to pop in there the Caring Thoughts 6x6 paper pad for you too. 48 sheets of awesome papers there. And remember the kind of fun that you can be having. What I love about them is that there's loads of different concepts you're able to create, from creating a toppers to creating something like your gatefold cards, as you've seen just there. Jennifer Dawn Smith says, in the US there are so many Easter candy choices. We don't really have an Easter egg that is universal. She says, if that makes sense, we get Easter baskets full of plastic eggs that are filled with jelly beans and foil covered chocolate eggs. Also have to do chocolate covered marshmallows shaped as chicks and bunnies. That's a good one. Do we have what? Pete's. Pete.
I think that's something else here.
Do we have Pete's? No, I don't think so. What's a Pete, Erin?
Peep. Peep as in peep of a horn.
Peep.
Peep. Yeah.
Boop, boop.
Peep, peep.
No, what's a peep? It's a marshmallow in the shape of a chick. No, we don't have those, but I feel like I need one in my life.
I do.
Do you guys have the little chocolate, well, they're not little, they're kind of yay big, the chocolate bunnies, they're hollow and they're wrapped in gold paper by that specific company. They are lethal. I can eat half a dozen
like a
of those.
lint roller?
Yeah, yeah, the lint chocolate bunnies with the little bells on them. That's the universal sign for bell. I still don't know what it is. I don't know what a peep is, but I'm sure I'm going to find out after this show. Debbie says, Joe, I love it when you make yourself laugh. No, no one finds me funnier than I do. I'm genuinely believing that for you. Now, of course, we've got that awesome launch day coming up, but we've also got another fantastic show. Isn't that right, Craig?
We do indeed. Absolutely. This is what's coming out in Creative Cravens, and it's all about our pop-out sentiments dies. These are so much fun. A lot of real fun products that we've got not only on Wake Up Call but throughout the day. So that is your Gemini pop-out sentiment dies. The one I'm using is going to be the Just For You, so bottom right hand corner, and these are going to enable you to not only give you a nice outside card, because you can then decorate it whichever way you want. We're now going to decorate the inside, but not just any old plain way. We're going to do it so that we've got this big sentiment that jumps out at you. So what we can do is, these are going to fit perfectly for like a 5x7. So that's what I'm going to do to show you, but you could do them bigger if you want. So I've got a piece of white smooth stamping card, and for this one, I've done 6 inches by 8 inches. Now it's key at this point here not to do a score line. What to do is, if you do a pencil line halfway at the 4-inch mark, then what we can do is I'm going to bring in my die set. So let's bring in my...
I've just seen a picture of a peep, Craig, and I'm mildly disturbed by it. It looks like something you'd have as a bath toy, Craig. Let me show it. I'm going to just quickly run over and just hold it up to Craig so he can see.
Oh.
There's definitely unnatural colourings in there, isn't there? It's like a bath bomb, but it's edible. How strange.
I can see where you're coming from on that one. But still give it a shot though and eat it. But,
I mean, I'll give it a go.
Oh, Erin's going to try and find some or get some.
Yes.
Now, talking about little chick beaks, see right here. So I'm going to go flat and then I'm going to leave it still for you. So at the left and the right hand side here, you see these looks like little chick beaks at the side here. What you're going to do with them, we're going to come down and we're going to line them up against your pencil line. So we can come down and we're going to centralise it within the middle. So we can bring in our low tack tape. So if we pop this one in here, and then I'm going to pop my tape on, and then what we can do is the size that I've gone for, so it's going to go through our Gemini Junior with no issues at all. We're going to run this one through. Now, either your Junior, of course it'll do your MIDI as well, your large Gemini or your Pro. The only thing you need to think of is obviously the size of your card blank. But I'm doing this one on the inside for white cardstock, but you could still do glitter and Centura Pearl and all your different cardstocks that you've got at home. So what we can do now is I'm going to peel off gently my low tack tape, and then we're going to take this next one off as well. So if we can peel it very carefully. Now this is the sort of project, Joe, that you just need a little bit of patience. Don't rush this part. If you rush it, then you're not going to get that full effect. What you would then do as well, at this point here, you would rub out that pencil line. If we had done our score line beforehand, we're going to have a score line that runs all the way through our sentiment, which we don't really want. You don't want to see that. So a pencil line is the best way to do it. Then what we can do is we can, right from the edge of our cardstock, just to the beginning of that first die cut, what we're going to do is we're going to score, and we're going to do the same at this other side as well. So we're going to score, just giving that our own little bit of a burnish. And then this is where you just take a deep breath, just sit nice and comfortably or stand comfortably, and we've got all of these score lines in. Oh, we can see them there, thank you, George. We've got all these score lines that work their way along. So what we're going to do to start with is roughly, and I don't want to press the whole lot, otherwise it's going to bend where you don't want it. Those two areas that I've scored a minute ago, I'm going to fold them in just to get them started. And then what we can do is we can then come up to the top, and I'm going to bend that one in. I'm going to lay this one flat on the side, and I'm using my fingers on this hand, and I'm going to start to manipulate all these different words. So we can come in, and then we're going to use our fingers, and we're going to start to manipulate these ones out. So this one can come here, here, and then this one can go back. So some of them are mountain folds and some of them are valley folds. So these ones here are a mountain because they're going to be sticking up the way. So I'm going to fold that back in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move down, and then I'm going to do these ones as well. So I'm using my thumb to push all these bits through. So each of these letters I'm going to push using both my thumbs to guide them. So let's come in here, and then we can move up to the next one and following that score line. If you wanted to, you could then come and pop this back onto your scoreboard and just enhance those score lines. You've got that option, and you absolutely can do if you want. So we can then take this to the next one. So folding it in, we're working our way along, and we're just going to fold, fold. And then you get to a point where it all starts to come together. So be patient, pop them in, using your fingers only to help guide them. If we're going to pop that one in there, there, and then there. So if we get to this point, and this is the point where you'll start to see it all come to life. So already, so if we then fold that one in, and then now you'll be able to see, can you see how it's starting to come to life now? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to then gently, I'm going to pop all these little words down. We're going to press, and now I'm going to come in and I'm going to press them again. And then we're going to take these words here, here, and then once you've got them enough, we can fold it straight over itself. Give it a bit of a burnish if you want with your tool. And then you can see now we've got our pop-out sentiment. How fun and funky does that look? Looks really fun. What I've done is I've die cut this again in a multitude of different colours, and then I've snipped them out using my scissors. Then what we can do is we can come back, and we're going to overlay these ones over the top. Obviously you will, as I said a moment ago, have rubbed these ones out, but we can then work our way along. You might want to colour theme this. You know, it says just for you, so it could be a little girl's birthday, could be, or maybe a little boy's. Although you're getting birthday in it, it's a nice additional sentiment to have. Because it could be any celebration, couldn't it?
I think there's, I love that about these sentiments, Craig, is that they are very versatile. There are a good array of them in here. Have a guess what Stephanie Theodos says? I ordered the pop-out sentiment dies and they got delivered from the UK to New Jersey in 3 days. Wowzers, they arrived yesterday. How awesome is that?
That's amazing, isn't it? That is absolutely amazing that we've got that so quick. And it's good to always see what you make as well afterwards, so always share. So there we go, let's manipulate that again, and we've got our pop-out element. Now what we can do is very quickly, let's just assemble this one now. So I've got a card blank, black card blank, which is 6 1/4 by 8 1/4. What I've also done though, Joe, is I have taken a piece of pattern paper, I've popped my die over the top, and I've drawn around it with a pencil. I've cut it out, and then that's then going to be my backdrop to go over. So what we can do is let's bring in our tape runner. I would be using tacky glue for this because it is construction, so we want that to make sure that it's going to be sticky and robust, but we're using our tape runner. I do want to say though, you know, if you only have a tape runner, it will be substantial enough. It's just kind of like a comfort thing that I like to pop my tacky glue in. So I'm going to then manipulate that again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these end bits and I'm going to pop it up to the seam of the card blank, and then I'm going to neaten that one up. So as if we are doing a matting layer, we can pop that one to this side here, and then once again we can then fold it back on itself. I want to make sure that we are all tidy at the side. Once I've got it where I want, let's just fold that one in. We can then press and burnish. At this point, let's come in with our double-sided, or not our double-sided, but our pattern paper. Take this one in, and then what I'm going to do is position that back in on itself. So we're just popping it into all these little lines, popping that one in, and then that is our finished insert one. And what I'll do, instead of decorating the front, I have got one already done that's got the front decorated, so we can show you that one. So this is where you got your card blank, you go to open it up, and you're going to pop out just for you. So you can see all that incredible depth that you've got. Now you might want to pop it into a padded envelope or maybe a boxed envelope, so you'd obviously make sure yours are all flat at the side. And then the one that I'd done, and no different, it's exactly the same. The only difference is I popped the front on just to coordinate. But there we go, that is that one there. There we go. So that's what's coming up in Creative Cravings later on at the end of the day UK time, 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern time, or 11 a.m. Pacific time, and that is going to be with Joe, and also Leanne is going to be in for that full show. So that's going to be good to see Leah. I think it's maybe a couple of weeks. It's maybe a couple of weeks since we've seen Leanne on Crafters TV, Joe.
Yeah, it's been a little while. We haven't seen her for a little while, so it's going to be lovely to have her back in the studio, no doubt, causing absolute havoc. As usual. Michelle says, Joe, peeps are delicious marshmallow chicks covered in coloured sugar. Absolutely yummy. I'm going to guess they taste better than they look. I love it when you guys quote us to ourselves. Laura May says, it looks like a bath bomb. I'll give it a go. That's my kind of thinking, Joe. Also, Evangeline says she's going to send us chocolate, Craig. I mean, we love it when you send us chocolate. She says, Joe, what is your address so I can send you and Craig chocolates made on our island? Chocolate-covered macadamia nut. Oh, I'm guessing that Evangeline is in Hawaii, judging by that. But yes, absolutely. I think one of our social media superstars, the lovely Rachel, has given you that address. Oh, something to look forward to there, Craig. Aisha is loving the pop-out. C. Strom saying they're a really fun die to work with. Mariah's been using the rotating stamps on the outside of them to decorate the outside. And also Laura says, thanks for sharing the tip about cutting the paper to surround it. Really finishes it off well there, Craig. It does indeed. If you want to see more on those, make sure you join myself and Leanne in the later show. I need to remind you of the Nature's Garden Peacock because it is very, very busy on this. How much of the stock's gone? Shut the front door. I thought it was like 50% gone. Turns out in those few minutes, 65% is gone. Remember, you're getting that gorgeous Centura Pearl, the incredible gilding wax in there, as well as the stamps, the die, and also the embossing folder as well. So make sure you get that. Now, I don't know how, but we've managed to get the storage folder on the show. And you're buying the folder and one pack of the magnetic sheets, and you're actually getting another pack of the magnetic sheets totally free of charge. These folders are absolutely awesome, and they are perfect for storing all of your different stamps and dies on here, which is excellent. Of course, your dies are going to last you a lifetime, so long as you store them correctly, and this is the perfect way. You can either pop your magnetic sheets in there, you can get 4 packs of magnetic sheets in there, so you're getting 2 to get you started, or you've got the acrylic sheets in there as well that help you store your stamps. So it's completely up to you how you want to go for those. Molly Hannah says, Joe, peeps actually look better than they taste, not the other way around. Seriously? I thought they were going to taste a lot better than they looked, but it turns out no, they look better than they taste. I think my producer Erin's grandpa would disagree with that. He loves a peep, especially maybe when they're past their best. Is that right, Erin? Just a little tiny bit past their best. Right, let's move on because we've got a fantastic stamping set for you on this show. Now, everything you need to get stamping, which is absolutely awesome. So you're going to get in here the rocker blocks. Now the rocker blocks are awesome because what they've got in there is they have got, of course, the ability to allow you to really get that clean, clear, crisp stamp every time. So you've got the rocker blocks. We're going to throw an ink pad into here for you as well, which is absolutely awesome. You're going to get the water reactive crushed velvet. You're going to get a watercolor card, and you're going to get the framed sentiments as well. It's a really awesome selection of stamping accoutrement, which is absolutely fantastic. And Craig, I believe you've got a little quick bit of inspo for us on this collection.
I do. What I'm going to do is I'll show you them just with a sentiment. I don't have any big stamps or that we can show you, but this is going to give you the idea. Now what I'm going to do is, what size of rocker block? Let's just use this larger one anyway. Now when it comes to your stamping, so what I would do when any stamping you want to stamp the impression, what I would do is you would want to have the quick dry version. This one's the water reactive, so what you can do with this one instead is you can still stamp with it, but what we've done is we've popped it onto a rocker block. Now the rocker block at each side is a couple of millimeters deep on the edges. That works in well with the depth of your stamp, but also if I go from up above, can you see it's on a curve? So this is where you can come along and literally rock it. So what you can do is we can then, on our watercolor card, we're going to go at an angle, 90 degrees here. So once we're at roughly about 90 degrees, we're then going to rock over. And then this is then going to give you your impression that you can see here. Now, as I say, keep in mind, you know, it is water reactive. So this isn't the ideal one for stamping a sentiment. What you could do, if you are wanting to, you can use your water reactive ones to stamp with, and then you can start to pull the colour out if you want to do that one. So worthwhile having a look on the website for the other ones, but you can absolutely use the water reactive to stamp, but you would need to do some watercolouring with it.
Jane says she had decided that she was giving up on stamping, Craig, and then she found the rocker blocks, and it's completely changed how she feels about stamping.
I think it's to do with, well, not to do, I know it is to do with the fact that you've got that rocking movement. And what it is as well is, if you were to, Joe, so if I stamp that, if I was to get ink all the way round, it doesn't matter. What we're going to do is we're going to rock it. The only thing you have to watch for is you don't get ink on those edges. If you do, when you go to rock it, what will happen, let's turn it that way. You go to rock it, you'll be left with dirty edges at the side. No. But you can see how crisp and clean that is, even although we've got ink all the way around.
No one wants dirty edges in their stamping, no. Craig, that is for sure. Remember what you're getting in here. You're getting the 4-pack of rocker blocks, the watercolour cardstock, the Harmony ink pad, and you're also getting the frame sentiments. However, it's very busy on this item. I need to let you know it's actually gone limited stock. If it's in your basket, it's time to check it out. If you did want to come in for it now, you could. You'd have to just get it in your basket and get it checked out pretty much immediately. So definitely be quick if you want that. Creative Touches on YouTube saying, hello Craig and Joe, I just wanted to let you know that I made one of those pop-out cards for my dad and he absolutely loved it. Thanks for being so creative. Thanks to you for being so creative as well. Creative Touches on YouTube. I don't think that is Creative Touches maybe given name, but I love it. I love seeing all of the usernames that you guys come up with on YouTube. If you are watching us on YouTube as well, don't forget to click subscribe, because then you'll be notified whenever we go live with some of our fantastic shows. You'll never have to miss any of them. Craig, it's looking like that Creative Craving show is going to be pretty chock-a-block, judging by the fact that you've got more coming up.
Absolutely, it's going to be jam-packed full, including being able to make these handbags.
Now, hello.
Yeah, now you had a good first-hand try at them yesterday, didn't you?
I did indeed.
Now, the key thing, you've got all the elements to make this depth to your handbags. You absolutely do not need to make it this deep if you don't want to. So we will show you that. I went all extravagant when it comes to this one by doing decoupage on the back, but please, I'm going to reiterate, you do not have to. Even opening it up, we can see you've got your pattern all the way through, and I've even popped that onto a pad. So how does it work? Straight away, this is ours from us at Crafter's Companion. However, you may be familiar with the die cut toppers that Hunky Dory do. Well, it's the same concept, but obviously these ones are ours. So what you're going to do is we're going to bring in 2 sheets. So you need 2 sheets for each of the handbags. I've already popped these bits out, but I've wanted to keep them within the sheet so that you can roughly see. So all of this comes from this one sheet here. So this is where I've popped all them out here. So I'm going to pop them ones to the side for a second. What I'm then going to do is all these elements here, these have all come from this one. Now I've piled these up because what it does, it enables you to create decoupage. If you want to use it as decoupage, it's not something you have to do, but we can bring these ones in here. So if we pop these ones in, bringing them in. So this is now taking your card making to something that's not only it's like a concept or it's kind of like construction, but it's fun. It's something that's really fun to do. And quickly, if I bring this one back in here, so if I also bring in these, this is what I still had left over from that sheet. So you still get bits if you're not wanting to use them all. And also you get envelopes for all of them. Now granted, that I wouldn't put into an envelope, but if we kept it flatter, then you can put it in the envelope that you get with them. So let's move them bits out of the way. So straight away, let's go into the main concept of our handbag. So we're going to fold this one over. So we're going to fold it and we're going to burnish it a little bit with our tool. Then what we can do is I've already popped this next layer out. Now you'll be able to see it goes directly over the top here. And then what I've done is I've brought the next layer in that goes directly over the top. We will pop them in. But what I wanted to show you as well, this piece here, this actually came from the strap of the handbag. But what I've actually done is I've used it because I felt that it worked perfectly. If you look at the lines at the side, see how it all lines up. So we'll show you that a bit more detail now as I pop them together. So have a look, and any of these bits that you would think that would be for the waist, you'll be able to use all the little bits, Joe.
I was just having a little Google, Craig, because yes, handbags are very functional, aren't they? But certain people, you know, use handbags in even more ingenious ways, Craig. Do you know that the Queen uses her handbags to send secret messages to her courtiers and her staff? Have you heard about this, Craig?
I've not, no.
So apparently if the Queen is dining with you and she puts a handbag on the table, it means that she wants to leave in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And if she's having a conversation, if the Queen is having a conversation, she always has her handbag draped over her arm, and if she moves the handbag from one arm to the other, it means that she's had enough and she'd like the conversation to be moved on, so someone comes in and just ushers her away. Imagine that. So
wow.
Not just about keeping things in. Apparently though, Craig, she doesn't have a handbag. She uses her wedding ring to communicate with her staff. And a gentle twist means she'd like to move on, and a sharp twist means get me out of here now. There you go. Some factoids for you there.
Okay. I always wondered why you were always fiddling with your ring. Always wondered, now that I know. So here we go. We've now got this all layered up. However, what we've also got is this strap here that goes along the bottom. So we can then even layer these ones up. So we're going to go all the way over the top here. So if we pop them in, so you'll see from your screen in total, element-wise, and that's all these little bits here, element-wise, you've got 764 elements. But what you can actually do is you can make 24 of your handbags, and you can make it, I want to say, we're going to double check in a minute, I want to say it's round about 6 of each design, I want to say. We're going to check that in a moment. So here is the main construction of our handbag. You, of course, now at this point, you can play with any of the toppers and where you want to pop them. So I'm going to pop this especially for you. We do believe that it is 6 of each design, and there is a number of designs that you can do. So you can see already, Craig is really going to town when it comes to your foam pads. So what we can do is we can pop that one in here. Then, and now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to correct myself. I believe it's actually 4 designs that you get. Is it 4 designs or 4 of each? We're going to double check for you. You're going to tip.
You get 6 designs, 4 of each, I believe.
Gotcha. 6 designs. So I was right,
6
wasn't I?
designs, 4 of each.
Should never question myself. Never question myself. But you've got loads and loads and loads that you can be making. The thing is as well, Joe, if you wanted to pop this onto a card front, I would chop along the top, then that would give you 2 handbag card fronts if you wanted to on the front of your cards. So you can do all these different things. So then what I'm going to do now is let's start to build up the decoupage. And what I like about these is these are one of those crafts where you don't have to think about it. You know, to be fair, when it comes to things like stamping, you have to think, where am I going to position the stamps? How am I going to colour them? With these ones, when it comes to these, all you have to do is pop the bits out and stick them on. And then it's that bit of creativity that you're doing, but you're not having to give it much thought.
Kathy absolutely loves this set. Samantha Cheney says, Joe, you are just full of information. Most of it, though, Samantha, absolutely useless, I'm afraid. But, I'm all right in a quiz. General knowledge quiz, pretty good. Jean says, I'm afraid I'd want to keep all the handbag cards that I made. Do you know what, Jean? There's nothing wrong with that. You can never have too many handbags. It's a fact, Craig.
I believe so. I believe that and shoes.
That and shoes.
For a girl.
I've got 26 pairs of shoes, I realised, Craig,
you do?
The other day, because I got them all lined up in the hallway because I'm trying to buy some shoe storage, and I realised I had 26 pairs of shoes. I only wear about 4 pairs, though.
And here's me saying girls as well, but it's
Absolutely.
you do it. And you say you only wear about 4. I probably only have about 4.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to be like that, but then I think the thing is, when you put a bit of weight on, your clothes don't fit, you can still keep buying shoes because they never go, you never change shoe size. So I feel like you can just buy fabulous shoes all the time. That's my excuse.
Do you know what I'm actually going to say this live, Joe? You're looking so well lately.
Oh, thank you.
You're looking so well.
I feel really well. So
good.
Thank you. Thanks for the compliment.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. But yeah, not ones that I tend to do is buy lots of shoes. Oh.
Oh,
wow.
Now Treasure Heart is a savvy crafter. They've ordered the set and they said they're going to trace the main body of the purse out and then create a template to make future ones. What a great idea.
That's such a good idea, isn't it? So good that you'll be able to do it. Or even if you wanted to do that, what you could do is you could use these bits as stencils. So you could use them as stencils and then ink through them. So you've got all of that different option as well. Maybe you want to use them as shapes. Do you know what you could even do? If you are someone that's got maybe kind of like your Cricut or your Scan and Cut, any of those die cut machines, scan them in. They're going to give you nice outline shapes that you could be using elsewhere in your crafting. So absolutely, go ahead and do that.
Great idea, Craig. Pamela Evans says, my daughter bought an IKEA tower. She has 102 pairs of shoes. 102.
Wow.
So if you wore all of them, you would only wear them like 3 times in a year if you wanted to wear them all. You could only wear them 3 days a year, and then that's your year pretty much full of all your shoes.
And that's you, yeah.
I don't think that you can't have too many shoes or handbags, though. It is a research scientific fact, of which I'm sure.
Is it? Is it an actual
100%.
fact, is it?
It is indeed.
Ah. You see, I'm one of those that the first thing that I don't think of is to go clothes shopping. I do like my gadgets though. I would rather get a few gadgets than new clothes, yeah.
I love new clothes, I really do.
Yeah, no, it's just something that I like my gadgets. I do obviously wear clothes, hence why.
I should hope so.
Should hope so.
Can you imagine? You get yourself in all sorts of bother, wouldn't you?
Just a bit awkward. Just a bit awkward. But let's finish this one off. So all that I am doing is positioning all of these bits.
To be very careful with your hot glue gun.
Yeah, absolutely. And the pokey tool. So here we go. You can position them wherever you want. So I'm not going to explain, you need to do it here, you need to do it there. You can see the way that I'm building this up, but you can do it any way that you want. And what we've got is we've got these bits you could still be using. Let's bring in one other one here. So let's pop our sentiment into the middle, pop that flat. And if you wanted to decorate the back, you can do. You've got this additional topper. If you wanted to layer them up, you can. But look, you've still got all these faux gems and pearls, these little tabs. You've got all these that you could still be using, or maybe even use it onto a separate card. But that's just one of the designs that you've got here. So to see this design again, as well as some of the other ones, you're going to be able to see it in Creative Craven. So that's 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time, and that is with Leanne and Joe throughout Creative Cravens.
Awesome, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Leela agrees, she's a gadget person. Aisha says, I gave up my shoe obsession for paper, pads and dies. Absolutely, you just got to do what makes you happy. Mary saying, I'm going to watch the Queen now every time she is on the telly to see if I can see her switching a handbag. Absolutely do. You'd feel awful if you just started chatting to the Queen and then she switched her handbag. What do you think? Oh, you think rude. If she quickly twisted her ring, you think, gosh.
It's the equivalent of someone yawning in your face, isn't it?
It is. Do you know the other thing that's quite bad for not rudeness, but could be rudeness? Watches, you know, smart watches. Because someone talks to you, their watch vibrates and they're like, and you're like, oh, I've got to be somewhere. But yes, let me share another craft file item with you, because this one is awesome. It is the Simple Reef collection that you've got in here. Now, what you're going to get is, you're going to get the Simple Reef in here, which is awesome. You're also going to get the Buds and Blooms, which are going to allow you to stamp out and decoupage that. Make stunning wreaths for all occasions with this. You are going to get the Just Because sentiments, and I love this, you're going to get the seasonal sentiments in here as well. And they do make the most awesome, cutest little sort of, they're very good for simple cards, I think. And I don't think, I don't mean simple cards in a derogatory way. I think sometimes, especially on things like Etsy and stuff at the moment, there are a lot more less is more cards out there that are maybe a little bit more dainty, a little bit more pretty. I think these are absolutely excellent at allowing you to create those styles of cards. And it really is a great deal here. £20 or $25.60 as a Club Inspire Platinum member. I think they're very trendy as well, these, Craig. They've got a sort of really lovely sort of summer wedding vibe about them, which I love.
They are. They all have that one, but it's something that I say time and time again, and I hold no apologies for it. Change the colour. Simply change the colour. It could be autumn, could be winter time, it could be wedding, all these different occasions as well. You do sometimes think as the wreaths as maybe Christmas time, but yeah, bring them in for all occasions. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a piece of our white smooth stamping card, and I'm going to just chop this one down. Now with the wreath itself, what you have got is the stamp and the die. So you can stamp it, then die cut it, or die cut it, then stamp it. Saying that, what I would absolutely do on this occasion, I would be stamping it first, then die cutting it, because it's really thin when it comes to the detail. But for this one, what I'm doing is I'm not using that die, I'll use the stamping dies of the flowers. And then we're going to bring in, let's bring in our platform again. Let's bring this one in. I'm going to lay this, it doesn't need to be bang on in the middle, but I'm going to pop my wreath on into place here. And then I'm going to come in with our black alcohol-proof ink pad. And although I'm not adding any colour to this, I'm still just going to use my alcohol-proof ink pad. So we can get that where we want to have it. So we then stamp. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give that another cover. So I'm then get that into place, and let's press this one again. And then what we get is we get this real nice wreath outline. So what I'm going to do is let's set that one to the side now. Then we're going to bring in our Buds and Blooms here. So these are also the ones that you get your stamping dies from. So what I'm going to do is let's take some of that white smooth stamping card, and I'm going to pop a few of these die cuts on. I'm not going to do them all, but we're going to pop a few of them on, and we can run these ones through our Gemini. So if I pop these bits on, now these ones here that you can see, they're going to go through your MIDI as well as your Mini and your Junior. Go, that's what I was trying to say. Of course they're going to go through the Junior, they're going to go through the Go. So what we can do is run it through. If you wanted to, if you like our masking sheets or our Pebeo drawn gum, you could start to use that and then use the stamps on their own and create your own wreath, floral wreath with just the stamps. Maybe you want to use just the dies, then you can do. And what I like about these Stampin' dies here, these are really lovely, gorgeous, small accent dies that you could die cut out, pop them behind your spring flower forming florals. So they're nice to have within them. So let's pop all these bits out. So what we can then do is get our die cuts out. So I'm going to pop these ones out with our pokey tool. There's that one. Get these couple out as well. Let's pop these ones. All our dies have got these little release holes in them. There's that one, and I think that one's out. Yep. Now we can then bring in the stamp, which these all correspond to your die cuts. So we can, let's take our stamps here. So I'll only do a couple for this instant. So for this one, what I am going to also do is let's bring in our small stamping platform for this. So I'm going to pop that on. Now this is one of those where I would also use my quick dry, but we've got our water reactive instead. And you'll have seen earlier with the crushed velvet how you can still use the crushed velvet. You can still use your water reactive to do your stamping. So let's bring in, is it one of these? No, it's not that one that I need, it's this one. So let's bring this one in. I'm going to pop it into the middle and then layering it up that we can see here, bringing in the corresponding flower. What I'll also do is I'll pop it onto my stamping mat purely so you can see how well it matches up. So you've got that depth of the purple underneath. So I'm following the outline of my stamp and I'm over aligning it onto my die cut, and then I'm going to press, and then we're going to remove that one, and we've got our stamped image. Now this is where, with it being water reactive, you're not going to get that clear stamp impression. If you want that, do use the quick dry. Let's do one, possibly one more. Let's bring in this one. Let's have a look. Is it, did I have this one? Is it? There we go, it was the one I had there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dab off that excess here. I can then bring in, let's go in for a piece of the pink. We can do the same. So let's stamp that one on. I'm going to bring this one in again. I can then overlay. So get that as to where I want it to be. When I'm happy, I can stamp. And there is another one that we've got here. So that's just a couple that we've done. You've still got all of these foliage parts. You've got all your pine as well. You've got all these bits too. But what you can then do is you're going to have done loads and loads and loads of these. Then what you can then do is come along. You can position them throughout your actual wreath. If you wanted to even bring in some of the ball tools from your flower forming, using either the pad that you get with it or just the back or front of your hand, you can start to shape them. You can start to position them around the wreath. We can see here, maybe you want to pop some of the real flower forming that you've done within the springtime. But this is the sort of idea that's going to give you, make it bright, make it bold, make it impactful. You've got those sentiments that you could pop all the way across the middle if you want, as well as these ones here. Lots of different things that you can be doing when it comes to these wreath creators here.
They are absolutely gorgeous, those, Craig, aren't they? Loads of you chatting away. Leela agrees with you, Craig. She says, I'm a gadget person. Wendy says, I'm with Craig. I'd much rather spend money on crafting stuff and gadgets than clothes. Well, then, absolutely, it's your money. You spend it where you want to spend it, Wendy. Helen says, I love the reef styles. They're all so versatile. And Joy says she loves using the reefs as frames on her cards, which is another great way of doing it. Now, remember, because it is the last day of National Craft Month, we are celebrating by giving you triple points for 24 hours. I know, across everything that you see in our Crafters TV shows and across everything on the entire website as well. And remember, it's the last day for our daily National Craft Month giveaway. All you have to do in order to enter is comment in any one of our shows, whether you do that on Facebook or you do it over on YouTube. Should we share with you what you could be winning in today's daily giveaway? Here it is, what an absolute bounty of goodies. One of you lucky lot will be winning at the end of today, which is absolutely awesome. So all you need to do is comment and you will be in with a chance of winning. Well, and you've got the monthly one as well, the Gemini Pro. Oh yeah, hello. Someone's going to win that with a turntable as well. Craig, what a lovely wake-up call. Thanks for letting me come and gate crash your show today.
Oh, you're welcome. I love the fact that you are up for popping in every time that you're in. I love that.
You try getting rid of me now.
It's great. Always good having your company, whether it's yourself or whether it's Ben. I love having you as a part of it. But we may be coming to the end of Wake Up Call, but don't fear, myself and Joe is not going far. Joe's certainly not going far because you've got him for all day. But what we've got coming up just shortly, in an hour and a half, as of, if you're watching live, 27 minutes past 1 here in the UK. That's going to be launch day, so that is then going to be 3 p.m. here in the UK, or for you guys stateside, that is then going to be 3, 2, 1, 12, 11, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time, and that is our floral stamp and die set. So I'm looking forward to that one, having the ability to be able to show you that. Then what we've got later on with Leanne and Joe, that is Creative Craven. So that, of course, is 7 p.m. here in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, or 11 a.m. Pacific Time. So what we are going to do just shortly is we're away to go and grab a cup of tea, maybe something quick to eat, and we're going to come back just shortly. Now, a couple of times we have picked up on our Club Inspire. Maybe you're new to us, maybe you've never heard of it before, maybe that you've been buying from us for quite a while and you've still not heard of it. I know, where have you been? If you do need to know a little bit more information, have a look at this video.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every £1 you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order, and we'll ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now, on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money-saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the crafty makes. Become a member of our club today.